I'm Grace Torrey, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl, Grace Torrey. Why did I say it like that? And I'm back with a whole new podcast episode. Today we are talking about everything and nothing. And I just got a notification my dogs are running around my house. That's cool. Starting things off with a bang. I'm going to have some fun little quirky life updates, and then we're going to talk about today's topic. But before we get into the little life updates, I should probably intro what the heck we're talking about today. So, it all started when I was listening to multiple podcasts. I will shout them out. I was listening to the Broski Report, and then I was also listening to the comment section with Queen, Drew, and then obviously Brittany Broski on the first one. But there's a common theme. It's kind of funny because I was listening to older episodes I just hadn't listened to yet, but both of the themes in those were kind of along the lines of like, or I wouldn't necessarily call them themes, but they both mentioned just like the joys of being a woman, like the fun things you get to experience, like the little simple pleasures of being a woman, and how they kind of unite us. And it's just like a silly little goofy thing that we all partake in if you are a woman, you identify as a woman. And it kind of got me thinking, I am constantly at a crossroads, or I guess I'm constantly jumping between two different wavelengths, where I'm either like, man, I love being a woman, like I love the simple things, or I tend to resent it. Not that I don't wish to be a woman. I am someone who is so for the girls, so about it. I love it so much. I wouldn't want to do anything else. I am just someone who's always been very, very excited to be a woman. But I resent it in the way that I feel like there's a lot more to overcome, specifically proving yourself in your career and starting a business and just like the things that I want to do. Like, there's a lot of things I want to accomplish outside of being a wife and a mother. Not that those aren't things I do want to do someday, but there are a lot of things I want to accomplish outside of that first that typically are male dominated. So I have a lot of resentment when it comes to being a woman because it makes my life so much harder. And anyone who also kind of takes on this more traditionally masculine energy and is trying to accomplish these big goals that are swayed towards the male population and biased towards them, I feel like you possibly have this thoughts towards being a woman where it's like you love it or you hate it. I mean, totally up to you. Your gender is like your own personal experience. But you also, at times, you kind of feel like it's like holding you back. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I wouldn't want to be anything else in the world than what I am, but I do kind of have this like, gosh darn it thought towards it, where it's like, darn, like, I have to be, like, just because I'm a woman, this is this way. And I try not to have that mindset because I don't want to be that person who, like, anytime something goes wrong, I'm like, it's because I'm a woman, isn't it? And I definitely think that I work really hard, and I am not that person. Like, I'm definitely not. I'm not the person who immediately goes to that thought when things go wrong. But there are times that I have definitely noticed being treated differently or things happening differently because of my gender. So that's where it kind of comes from, like that inner, I don't know if it's like necessarily trauma, like it's a micro thing, like it's not like a big traumatic event in my life, but it's like something that has conditioned me to act a certain way, and think of it a certain way. Long story short, I wanted to talk about all the little things I just love about being a woman, all the simple pleasures that come with being a woman, all the things that women typically romanticize that makes our lives so much better. So, you know that trend, and it's like, no, this is for the girls, like the men can't have this. It's kind of like that, except it's just like, oh, how I love being a woman. Like, it's just things that men or anyone who is not a woman can partake in. I just feel like when you are a woman, because that's the only way that I have experienced it, there's just something about it that makes you like, I don't know, I feel like we take it to a whole nother level. We appreciate it more than any other gender does. And it makes us really happy. From what I've experienced, the women I've talked to, these are just simple pleasures that we all collectively take to a whole nother level, romanticize, and enjoy. So before I jump in, like I mentioned, let's talk about my cute little, fun little, quick little life updates. Nothing really too crazy. What did I do today? I went to the barn early in the morning. I know, I put a story on my Instagram about it. So fun and fresh. My horse was grumpy though, which was not so great, not so fun. It's fine, we worked through it, but I don't know. Whenever she gets grumpy, I get really, really nervous that something's wrong. Like she's trying to tell me that she's in pain or that she's not being treated right or something that I can't know because she lives somewhere. Like it's not like I'm there 24/7. So I get really, really anxious about that. But I did all the tests to make sure that like she's not in pain and she's actually just being grumpy. And as far as I can tell, maybe she's a little burnt out from her job because she hasn't worked that hard in years. But other than that, I think she's fine. She was just having a cranky day. So other than that, after I saw her, I came home, brought Josh coffee and woke him up. And then we went to a pumpkin patch. So that was fun and fresh. We weren't there super, super long. I kind of realized we had never been to this one. I'd always heard really, really good things about it, but we'd never been. So we went and it was fun. It was just very catered to little kids. Like, I could see it being really, really fun up until like high school. And then it was very, I don't know, there just wasn't much to do. Like, everything was catered towards children, which is totally fine. I know that some orchard slash pumpkin patches slash whatever you want to call it, wineries are not wineries, but some are more catered towards children, whereas some have more adult things to do. And this one, I just kept saying like, this will be so fun to come when I have kids, which is not gonna be anytime soon, but it will be so fun. And right now, it's just like, meh. Like, we got our pumpkins, we picked them out, and then we came home. Well, we actually went to Home Depot, which, hold on, that kind of just exploded this idea and made me so excited to do it, but we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, we picked out big pumpkins. That was really fun. We walked around the patch for a minute and looked at all the pumpkins and kind of talked about it. And we walked through because it was like a cider mill and an orchard. So I think the orchard was closed, but we walked through like the cider area. They had like a little country store and that was cool. But like I mentioned, like they had like a playground, they had like a little hay maze, they had all kinds of those like sack slides where you sit in a sit in a sack and go down a slide. They had the little bike pedals, like all kinds of super fun things that I remember doing when I was younger when I went to pumpkin patches, and it was very, very nostalgic for me, and it was so sweet to see all the cute little kids do it. But it's not like I could do it. Like, I can't. I am a 24-year-old woman. So even though I wanted to, I knew that I cannot partake in those activities until I have a child and I'm doing it with them. Like, I can't just be the one 24-year-old out there doing it. So yeah, it was fun. But like I mentioned, we went to Home Depot. Highlight of the freaking year was walking through the Christmas section. It just made me so excited. And that is one of the little privileges of being a woman. You get so excited over the Home Depot decorations, whether it's the 12-foot skeleton or it's the bunny LED light up at Home Depot that's currently going around on all of the bunny owner pages right now. It is a good time. One or the other, you're having a grand old time just because the women romanticize that and make it the best time ever. You get to hit every single try me button on those freaking Christmas activities. You get to look at all the Christmas trees. You get to get ideas. It's just such a good time. So with that being said, I guess we'll transition into our topic because that kind of is our topic. Before I do, don't forget to follow on whatever platform you're currently on. That would mean the world to me. You're super fun and fresh. Also, don't forget to share this with a friend who you think would also enjoy the topic. But let's go ahead and jump in. These are all the things, the simple pleasures that I enjoy with being a woman that are just so great, and I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. So the very first thing is every single Saturday, I go to my favorite local coffee shop or Starbucks, I won't lie, and typically it's a local coffee shop. If I'm feeling particularly like I'm craving Starbucks or I want a seasonal beverage, I will go to Starbucks. Typically, I only go there like once a week during the week when I'm like on my lunch break, and then I go to a small business coffee shop on Saturdays or when Josh and I go get coffee on Sundays. But like I was saying, not the point. The simple pleasure of getting a coffee and either sitting at the coffee shop and reading a book or driving, listening to your favorite podcast or music and going to a thrift shop or whatever little girl errands you need to run. And you know exactly what I mean by girl errands. I'm talking Target, Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, that whole chain, Michael's, Five Below, the girl errands, pet stores, anything you can imagine. You know the places. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And yes, I'm going to dive into most of them, if not all of them, but oh, how I love them. It's just, there's something about it. I call it free therapy. Obviously, it's not free. You got to pay for the coffee, but it's way cheaper than going to therapy. And something about it, just, I can feel the negative energy leaving my body. As I turn the dial on my car to turn the volume up a little bit, listen to one of my favorite artists play a song I've heard 1,000 times, but it's a Saturday morning and I have the whole weekend to work on my own hustles or sleep or do whatever I want. And Josh is at work. He works on Saturdays, so I have the whole day to just focus on me and I don't have to talk to anybody. And oh, how I love it. Just the me time. The me time. Another thing that I love is Home Goods. I feel like this has been a thing, has been a trend, the TJ Maxx and Home Goods, path that you go down. I started with Target, and I grew up a TJ Maxx girly. My mom was a TJ Maxx girly. My mom still is a TJ Maxx girly. So I like TJ Maxx, but I am a home decor girl. I would do anything for some good old home decor. Oh my god, like, you guys don't understand. And it's funny because my house is not that decorated simply because I'm poor. Because I go to Home Goods probably 4 times a week just to walk around, but I can't afford any of it. So, maybe one day. I'm manifesting, I'm manifesting for when I can afford it. But man, there's this one plaza and it's conveniently close to Josh's work. And it has Home Goods. It has PetSmart. It has, what's that place called? Marshall's. Marshall's. I always think it's Mitchell's, but it's Marshall's. It has Hobby Lobby, Goodwill, Panera, and my favorite chicken salad place, which is only really known in the South. It's called Chicken Salad Chick. If you're ever in the South or even as far north as Kentucky, I don't know if they're any farther north than here. Get yourself some Chicken Salad Chick. Let me know what you think. But I love Chicken Salad Chick. My best friend got me into it. But I could walk around that plaza for hours, and in fact I do. Probably 3 times a week to 4 times a week. I spend an hour or two just walking around that plaza. I could go every day, and it could be the same stuff every day. And I find something else to enjoy every day. And this is, like I mentioned, one of the simple pleasures of being a woman. Men hate it. I don't even take Josh shopping with me anymore to do anything, to buy anything, because he doesn't enjoy it. He hates it. He doesn't get it. And that's fine. He doesn't have to get it. I'm not asking for him to get it, but do I get it? Do I get it? It's the act of romanticizing it. It's looking at every single home decor item and picturing which room it would look best in and where. It's the act of looking at all the arts and crafts items and thinking about all the things that you could build and all the businesses you could start and all of the boo baskets you can make and Christmas presents you can save money on because you handmade them. It's going into the PetSmart and thinking about all the toys you could get for your dogs and which ones they would hate and which ones they would like and which ones you would pick out if you could, and then picking some out. Looking at all of the pets and thinking about who who could come get them? Like, what friend do you have that needs a pet right now? And then taking a picture of it and sending it to them and saying, I really think you need this kitten. It's walking into Goodwill and saying, I'm going to read you my house for less than $50 and truly, truly believing you can do it. And then finding out you can't and you don't even have $50 to spend anyway. It's just the little things. I personally don't mind eating by myself. I mean, I would never go to like a bougie restaurant. By bougie, I mean like Olive Garden or above and sit by myself. But if it's kind of like a low-key, like a Panera type vibe, I will go sit by myself all day long. And Chicken Salad Chick has that vibe. So does Panera, coffee shops. I will go by myself, get myself some food, and bring a book or write in my manifestation journal or bring my laptop. And once you become comfortable with being alone, I think that this is one of those things that women romanticize. It's the alone time. It's the me time of it all. It's the romanticizing. It's the thought of seeing someone that you haven't seen in 5 years and then you catch up and you tell them everything. Men don't think about that. Men don't think about when they walk into a certain store on a certain part of town where they used to hang out with certain people. They don't think about, oh, I could maybe run into them here. But you know who does? I do. And some women do. All the ones I've talked to do. And you gotta stay ready. I don't know if it's a simple pleasure or if it's just like the excitement of it. But man, do I love it. Another thing that I truly love is coming home, lighting all my candles, taking an everything shower, laying down on a clean couch with a clean blanket, drinking a hot bev, and turning on something I enjoy. Now, lately it hasn't been TV. Sometimes it'll be YouTube. I've been really into YouTube. But sometimes it'll be reading a book. Sometimes it'll be a podcast on YouTube. Sometimes it will just be journaling. But being in that environment, there's something about the environment of a clean house. And I don't know if primarily women understand, like, I'm not talking about hygiene. I'm talking about truly savoring and enjoying being in a clean home and soaking up every single second. And the women do that. The women get it. We get it. We sit down and we think about, we look at every single thing in the room and we say, you know, I'm so grateful that that's clean. I'm so grateful that that's clean. I love this. You literally think to yourself, I could not be any happier right now. I could not be in any other place right now. This is heaven. And then someone comes along and ruins it. Usually, in my case, my boyfriend or my dog. And then I have to clean it again. And I won't say that I enjoy cleaning. I think that that can be one of the simple pleasures. There are times when I truly enjoy cleaning and there's like romanticizing of it where I'm like, okay, this is great. Like I love being independent and having a home and cleaning it and it just being so clean and so nice. And I did that in my own home. There is a romanticizing to that whenever it's like very empowering. But for the most part, I'm not a cleaning girl. I more so enjoy the after effects of cleaning, which is why I clean. But that's fine. Some people do enjoy cleaning. Some women, most women, will take pride in it, take joy in it, just like I do. And some will take it to the next step and be like, yeah, that is a simple pleasure. And I see you. And I'm mentioning that for you. You know, there's the act of cooking with some wine, and you're cooking something all on your own, and the house is quiet, or you have your favorite music on. It's really just everyday activities that we just take it up a notch. You know what my favorite thing is? My favorite thing. One of my favorite things. Putting on slippers and a robe after a hot shower and laying down in bed. Like going and laying in clean sheets. Obviously, I do my skincare routine. Obviously, I brush my teeth and stuff. But the act of doing that, and it's so warm and fuzzy, and then just laying in my sheets with my candle going and my salt lamp, I'm a new woman. I'm refreshed. I am a whole new person. And all it took was that robe and that fuzzy slipper combined with hot water and a shower. The hottest shower. Apparently that's a woman thing. We like to take hot showers. I do it because it relaxes my muscles, and I just always am in pain. My lower back always hurts. They told me I have one leg that's longer than the other, and that's probably why. But yeah, so I love taking hot showers because it relaxes my muscles. I wish I was a cold shower girly because it's great for you, but I'm not yet. There's hope for the future, but I'm not yet. What is another simple pleasure? Skincare routines. This is one that Drew mentioned. We do skincare routines like no one else. Like nobody else's business. We own the skincare routine. We started that game. We love it. We are so good at it. And there's nothing like putting your lotion on at night on your face and then curling into bed with a fresh face. On that same note, not on the same note at all, but lingerie. Drew also mentioned that. And it really got me thinking, what is the men's version of lingerie? There isn't one that I can think of. And they don't really care. If there is, they don't really care about it. I love lingerie. I don't even care. I bought more lingerie when I was single than when I'm in a relationship. I don't know why. I just, don't have the time to anymore. But it's got nothing to do with a man. It's got nothing to do with anyone but yourself. I just love the feeling of wearing lingerie. I feel beautiful. I feel sexy. I feel I just love myself. It's a self-love thing. Lingerie is one of the beautiful things about being a woman. I love styling my body. Boobs, hips, curves, butt cheeks. I love the way that women's bodies are made. I love fashion. I love styling my body. I love it. I know that our bodies are different than anybody else's, women. We all also have our own bodies, so maybe you don't have the biggest boobs or you don't have the biggest butt, but there is something so beautiful about styling yourself and finding your journey of finding what looks best on you and finding your style. And I feel like we really enjoy it. We genuinely enjoy changing our style and being individuals, and the ability to show your individuality through your clothes and the way that I don't know, just the curves that women have, it just looks better in clothes. We just look so good in clothes. Go us. And I love it for us. Go team. We are doing great. I'm trying to think of other things, but in this very moment, I'm drawing a blank, but I think I have a pretty good list of things. I think we got a good list going. So if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to comment down below what your favorite thing about being a woman is. I'm also going to put a question on Spotify about what your favorite thing about being a woman is, so don't forget to answer and leave a rating and review, or a like if you're on YouTube, but rating and review if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It really changes my life. I'm not even kidding. One rating or review blows up the podcast. Don't forget to follow on Instagram, TikTok, all the things, or whatever platform you're currently watching on, and share with your bestie. I love you so much. I upload every single Sunday and Wednesday. I will catch you all in my next episode. If you're watching this on the Sunday night it comes out, I hope you have a great night. If you're watching this at any other time, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or night, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.